Please remember what the growth curl is. Arcade brings to you. It's Amy DB. The Redbus, doing that the original OverExposedKaiju. And today, we are back on the reaction channel, reacting to Tomska. And this time we are reacting to his basically it's like Barney rants. We already saw his Tomska Tengen like video essay type thing. We saw his tugs. Now, brother, he even has one on Barney. My man. God dang, which shot of seriously not touched? But before we get into that, make sure you go check out Tomska in the description box below. I'll put the link to the channel there. Also, make sure you check out the video. I'll put the link to the video in the description below if you want to watch out all the commentary. And yeah, make sure. And if you're new, make sure you enjoy this content in the commentary for this video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button because along with the show grow. And if you're interested, also go check out the Patreon. I'll be putting some exclusive stuff over there in the near future. So go check it out if you're interested in that. And to help support the channel. Also, I haven't posted in like 2 weeks on this channel. I know. I've been gone because I had a family emergency. Apologies for being gone for like 2 weeks. We're back to the grind, getting stuff done. So let's get into it. Enough rambling. Let's learn about Barney, the apparently godlike dinosaur.
Barney the Dinosaur. You know him, and if you don't, you're gonna. He's
Oh.
purple, he loves you, you love him, he has forward-facing eyes, granting him the necessary depth perception to hunt prey.
Oh.
He has a bike.
He's
It's
a bike?
Barney.
Oh, he does. Barney! Oh my god!
Tomska Ridgewell. And I'll be fully honest with you, before I started working on this video, I'd never really watched Barney the Dinosaur. I was
What the hell? Come on. Everybody watched Barney growing up. Yeah, from a certain period. Like, I don't know, probably the late 90s to like early to mid 2000s, maybe early 2010s. Does anybody remember that, like, I have no idea if this has been confirmed or not. So before anything, allegedly, right? Allegedly, because I don't want to get sued or anything like that. But does anybody remember like that like urban legends about how like during like a show, some guy dressed up as Barney and like murdered a little girl underneath the table or something like that? Does anybody remember that? Like I remember that being like a huge like urban legend growing up. Like there was like an urban legend about how some like crazy guy like put on a Barney suit and like murdered a little girl underneath the table or underneath like a table during like an episode or something like that. Does anybody remember that? Like I remember that. I remember that being a huge thing, in like 2013 or 2014, something like that. About how allegedly that there was like a huge accident during like how some like psycho got into like a Barney suit and killed a little girl like that. Like, does anybody remember that? I remember this like I remember this vaguely, and I remember like I think it was like all over like Reddit and that type of stuff too. Like everybody's like talking about it, and it can be like an experiment, like a creepypasta into like an urban legend. Again, allegedly, I don't want to get sued, don't want anything like that. It's just something I brought up. Like every time I hear about anything about Barney these days, or whenever like Barney, you know, it's like I grew up watching Barney, right? For like I don't know, in the early 2000s, like I grew up watching Barney. I watched Barney for a long time because, like I said previously, Mama Kaiju had a daycare for many years. So I grew up around like younger kids and like watching show, like just hanging out with them, watch TV with them. It's like I watched Barney a lot longer and a lot of these like cartoons just like that a lot longer than most people probably do. So like I watched a lot of these shows a lot longer than most people. But like, I remember like hearing about this urban legend like years ago about how there was like allegedly, again I don't want to get sued, allegedly there was like there was an accident or some like either like the guy who played Barney snapped or like some like psycho got the suit or something like that and like murdered a little girl underneath the table or something like that. Like I have no idea if this is true or not. I think it's an urban legend, but I always thought it was fascinating. Every time I see or think or hear about Barney, I always think about that exact like moment, that exact like urban legend. Obviously, I don't think there's like any like, evidence or credence behind the whole urban legend. But I'm just curious. Everybody else has heard that, like, legend or urban legend, whatever, that about the psycho Barney snapping and butchering a little girl or underneath like a table during an episode like that. Like, is that like, I, it's just crazy. I think it's the same thing as like some other characters. Like like, there's been like other like urban legends about like childhood characters going crazy or doing like offensive things. I don't know. It's probably like one of those like urban legends, just kind of like like trying to ruin your childhood type of thing. But I don't know. I'll have to like see if I can like find some videos about them, about like those like weird urban legends about like childhood favorite characters and that stuff. I always think it's interesting. Anyway, sorry about the rant. I was just curious if anybody else has like heard of that legend or that urban legend or whatever. Because like I knew it was pretty big in like the early not in like early 2010s. So like if anybody remembers that or if anybody like knows what I'm talking about, let me know in the comment section below. Because I thought it was it's a pretty interesting urban legend.
Around 4 years old when he came to the UK, and I was already into way cooler stuff by then, like trains. And
Trains are cool. I like trains.
My knowledge of Barney was pretty much limited to knowing how hated he was within pop culture. It was the 90s, the decade in which we realized.
Fair. I feel like Barney has like a mixed reception. Either people have fond memories of Barney growing up, or they just hate him. I feel like the same thing with like Elmo and the Muppets too, and like where are some other ones? Like Caillou probably too, probably good in there. Maybe you could probably like I won't say Max and Ruby's too, but I think Max and Ruby's like different. Max and Ruby's always been like pretty cool. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say they hate Max and Ruby. I think Max and Ruby like the little rabbit cartoons from like back in the day. Dora gets a lot of hate and like he has like a mixed reception between people. SpongeBob is just like also, but I feel like SpongeBob is like universally, for the most part, beloved, especially in the earlier seasons because this is so great, so on and so forth. But like, I feel like I feel like Barney is like there's a lot of nostalgia behind it, but it also gets like a lot of hate, and there's also like a bunch of like I said about the like urban legends about it too. About like some psycho getting into the suit and like butchering children or whatever. So I don't know. It's kind of a mixed bag I think when it comes to Barney.
That hating stuff could be your entire personality, and
fair.
Boy did we.
I mean, Jesus, he just blew Barney's brains out. But like to be fair, '90s was like was kind of like I guess you could say like the extreme decade. That was like back when like WCW, WWE, I guess it was WWF at the time. ECW were as peak, where like millions and millions of people were watching at the time. Like there was a lot less like safety when it comes to like sports. It's like in like the NFL, NBA, MLB, some stuff, NASCAR. Obviously there wasn't in the '90s there wasn't as much of that whole PC politically correctness. I put politically correctness in quotes because I'm personally not a politically correct person. I'm not a woke person by any means. Like I don't believe in any of that shit. But like back then, you could say things like "that's gay" or "that's retarded," and not have like the entire Twitter or Reddit come after you and see your death threats for saying that shit like that. You know what I mean? Like the 90s was a whole different time. And yeah, I didn't grow up in the 90s. I grew up in the 2000s. So like I didn't. It's like I just barely missed the 90s, unfortunately. Though, actually, I technically wasn't. I technically in like the most like I guess most narrowest sense, because I was technically conceived in '99. I was conceived in 1999, but I was born in 2000. So so technically, if we use like the broadest sense, sense of being a nice kid, I was conceived in '99, but I was born in 2000. So technically, I could technically be classified as a 90s kid. I don't know.
But when my girlfriend suggested popping on her favorite childhood movie, how could I say no? It's just a silly, goofy movie about a
Like this. No. How about no?
lovable, albeit slightly unnerving dino guy, right? This won't leave me with a myriad of metaphysical questions about the godlike powers of this lumbering purple nightmare, right? What's
Question, Tom, Mr. Tomska. Why is your girlfriend wanting to watch a children's movie with you? Like, don't get me wrong, right? I love me some Finding Nemo and some like Lion King and like the Sleeping Beauty and all that, and like a lot of like that stuff. I love like watching that from time to time, right? Don't get me wrong, those are great movies. But why is your girlfriend forcing you to watch Barney the Dinosaur? Yeah, brother, like that might be a red flag.
the runtime of this video? Oh god, no!
Oh, he's dead.
Barney's Great Adventure left me with so
Barney just murdered that poor kid. Allegedly, again, I don't want to get sued. He allegedly murdered that man. Boy, not
many
man.
questions such as, huh? And what? But mostly,
And why?
God's name is Barney the Dinosaur.
Well,
True.
he's a dinosaur.
Is he? Because I don't think he is. The only thing Barney has in common with dinosaurs is that they were both put on Earth by God to test our
Don't think that's true. I don't think God had anything to do with dinosaurs. I'm still like 99.999999999999999% sure that God and all the gods and goddesses and deities are just creations of man. Like I don't think there's anything after death. I think us being creators is just a normal function thing that all animals do, including humans. Like we procreate. That's kind of what we do. It's how our species survives. Dinosaurs were around Earth long before humans were even around. Right? Like the put like at the time the dinosaurs were around, right? At the time the dinosaurs were like around, probably heading towards extinction about 65 million years ago. The dominant, the mammal was like a little muskrat. I'm not making this up. It was like I can't remember the exact name of it, but it was literally like a little muskrat. That was that was, for the most part, the most dominant mammal. And the reason they survived was because they were so small. And they could hide in places. That's literally the reason that they survived. Like, mammals were, like, obviously with millions of years going on and evolution and stuff, mammals became the dominant, what's the word? What's the word am I for? Is it genus? I think it's genus. Came like the dominant genus, I believe that's the word. I believe that's the class I'm looking for, right? They kind of usurped it from like the reptiles, right? After the dinosaurs went extinct, and then the mammals kind of over millions of years of evolution, kind of became where we are today, where mammals are the dominant. I think it's genus. Hold on, let me look it up. I want to make sure I'm saying this right. Is it genus? I always get the classes fucked up. Class. No, it's class. So it's not genus. Class. So yes, sorry. So I got mixed up. It's not genus. It's class. So the class between a class would be like amphibians, insects, reptiles, fish, birds, and mammals, right? And there's some other like sub classes too, but those are extremely advanced. We're not going to get into that. So the dinosaurs were reptiles, right? For the most part, obviously there's some gray areas, but we're gonna say that they were reptiles, right? So like after dinosaurs went extinct, after millions of years, mammals evolved and became the dominant class. They usurped it from the dinosaurs / reptiles. And yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember what I was going with this idea, but yeah, dinosaurs were around long before any concept of a god was ever even thought of by humans by millions and millions and millions of years. Anyways, back to, sorry for being
I've now
distracted.
lost mine. Barney is a god or a cryptid or both, but whatever
A god cryptid?
he is, we've been sleeping on him for far too long, and it's time to expose this unfathomably powerful being for what he is.
Why is he purple too? I don't think there's a purple dinosaur. That at least comes to my mind. That I can at least think, you know, like most dinosaurs that we see, right? And obviously we don't really know what dinosaurs trade looked like when he had skin on, right? Because all we have is are just the bones of dinosaurs, right? So we don't know what they looked like when they were alive, right? But from like the best estimates we have from people like experts is they're typically like brown, gray. So not gray, but I guess gray kind of like brown, tan, greenish colors. Rough estimates, right? I can't say I could ever think of an animal like a dinosaur that was ever purple and green, like Barney is, right? And Barney's like a T-Rex, I think. He's supposed to be a T-Rex. I believe. Like, I can't say I've ever seen I can't say that a T-Rex would be like, purple. Because I would assume you being purple would be hard, because like would be hard to kind of conceal your presence. Because like T-Rexes were kind of like ambush predators in a sense. Well, not right ambush predators, I guess. Is that, I don't know if that's like proper terminology. But they would often like ambush their prey, despite them being large, right? They'll get kind of conceal their presence because the colors like being brown and that stuff. So you kind of conceal yourself a little bit. But whatever, I don't know. So why is he purple and green? Like you're not gonna be able to camouflage, right? Well, if you're purple and green, I'm just saying.
And what is that? Oh, I'm gonna tell you, I have done such an obscene amount of research for this video. I have watched a concerning amount of Barney the Dinosaur for someone who doesn't have kids, and I must unburden myself of this knowledge by passing it on to you. But before we get into what Barney is, you're gonna have to know who Barney is. And for that, it's time for a little history lesson.
Okay.
Chapter 1, World War II.
Oh, fun.
Chapter 2, Barney the Dinosaur.
Chapter 1, World War II. We won! Oh, okay. Great. There's a lot of information there we just skipped over. But yeah, we did win. At the cost of millions of people dying. Countless cities and towns demolished. At the cost of crimes against humanity that are so horrific that we can't even discuss it on YouTube, or YouTube might break my knees. At the cost of just basically, it was yeah, we won. You're right, Thompson. We did win. The Allies did beat the Axis powers, so we won. Yay!
Dinosaur. The year is 1987.
Yeah, 1987. The 80s. horrible fashion, big hair, and the dying days of the Cold War. Yeah!
And parent/teacher Cheryl Leach just wants her little boy to sit down and shut up. She
Oh.
plops him down in front of the TV and puts in a VHS tape
Oh,
called We
Casper.
Sing Together. Why is it spelled like that? I don't know, but he loves it. He's calm, he's engaged, and they play this tape over and over and over again until it stops working. It's no longer effective at keeping his attention. So she heads over to the video store and she says, hey, more of this, please. It's great. It's like crack for babies. Don't...
Wait, was that Jack Black? Is that Jack Black? Kind of funny.
Store and she says, hey, more of this, please. It's great. It's like crack for babies. Don't give crack to babies.
True. Do not give crack to babies.
But the video store says, we don't have any more, and the wait list for the next one is super long. So she says, you know what? I don't have time for this. I'm going to go make my own VHS.
Wow!
Blackjack. And no, not that. But it's going to star an incredibly realistic dinosaur because my son loves dinosaurs.
That's what's cool.
And that's the plan, right up until someone goes, please don't. That's really, it's going to scare children. She's like, okay. And they made Barney the Dinosaur.
Oh, nice. What the fuck was that?
Cheryl really looked at this tape.
Paper Joy is good. I agree. Can we go back to that? What the fuck is that? Early Barney's just built different. Like, brother, did you not bring on like sun lotion at all? Suntan lotion? Sunscreen at all? Like, you're burnt to a crisp, Barney. That's not healthy, my guy. This is how you get skin cancer. When you're burnt to a crisp.
Cheryl really looked at this tape where a kid is in bed and then their toy comes to life and then takes them to a forest and they sing and dance about camping and said, hey, can I copy your homework a little bit? Because, come on, Cheryl, that's just stealing. Naughty, you can't do that. Also,
Late plagiarism.
Smash. Cheryl and her crew then spend the next...
What? Tomska, can't just... Who are you trying to smash here, Tomska?
Because, come on, Cheryl, that's just stealing. Naughty, you can't do that. Also...
Oh, the fucking... Oh, the fucking mouse. Oh my god.
Stealing. Naughty, you can't do that. Also...
Really, Tomska? Really?
Smash. Cheryl and her crew then spend the next 3 years making 8 VHS tapes of Barney and the Backyard Gang, which exist solely to pop on for children so they'll just sit down and shut up. This is a time before iPads and Cocomelon and Baby Shark and sensory videos. This was the only option that these parents had to just, please, child, shut up! And I gotta say, this opening logo for Barney and the Backyard Gang
that is some terrifying.
The most delightfully creepy thing I've ever seen. Everyone trying to make analog horror in this day and age wishes they could look at what they
need to mimic a fraction of our power.
Essentially, Barney and the Backyard Gang is about a doll that comes to life through kids' imaginations, and then they go on adventures. Kind of like Calvin and Hobbes. And if you don't know what Calvin and Hobbes is about, it's about a doll that comes to life through kids' imaginations, and then they go on adventures together, which is kind of like Barney. Hope this helps.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hi.
Wow. All right, back to
PBS. It's renamed to Barney and Friends instead of Barney and the Backyard Gang. Why, you ask? To remove references to gang.
The gang, yeah, probably.
Apparently, the Barney was...
Yeah, I figured. had to remove the word gang. Apparently, gang is too violent of a term. So yep, it's back here. Barney and friends. That's or Barney and backyard friends, something like that. Gotta remove gang. Don't want little Susie to go out there with with a 9mm shooting up the streets. You know what I mean? Don't want little Johnny to go there with the baseball bat, cracking, smashing open people's windshields. We don't want any of that from watching Barney and gang. No, gang.
It harkened back too much to crime. Kids are watching this and thinking, oh boy, I should join a gang. I would join a gang if they got to do shit like this. Seems awesome. I wish I had friends. But aside from the production values increasing, the format stays pretty much exactly the same. There's a bunch of kids, there's a doll, the doll turns into a dinosaur, they all sing and dance and land together, the dinosaur turns back into a doll, rinse and repeat for 2.
And then they realize, hey, wait, we didn't get that kite out of the tree. Our doll came to life, became like an 8-foot tall dinosaur. And we danced and sung with them, but our kite's still stuck in this fucking tree. We didn't solve a solution, or we didn't solve the problem at all.
168 episodes, 66 specials, 19 albums, a couple dozen live shows,
Jesus.
and 1 feature-length movie before it all wraps up in 2010. Throughout the 90s, Barney was simultaneously the most beloved icon to toddlers across the globe, and also the most abhorred beast in pop culture.
I'm so glad we love each other.
Damn it, this wussy crap is pissing me off.
People loved dunking on Barney, sometimes even literally to such obsessive degrees. This was a time largely before internet discussions existed, so people were straight up making magazines to talk about how much they hated Barney the Dinosaur. Whatever makes Bluey like crack for millennial parents, the exact opposite was true for Barney and the Boomers. Great band name. Barney was inescapable.
Barney and the
is what I'm
Boomers.
trying to say. He was like Rick and Morty for toddlers, whatever that means. Even when you weren't watching Barney, you were still watching Barney.
Morty, are you watching that Barney, the purple dinosaur gang shit again, Morty? Morty, you need to stop watching that shit, Morty. You need to stop, Morty. That Barney and purple dinosaur gang shit's not good for your brain, Morty. Morty, stop, Morty. This is why Tracy. It's not Tracy. It's not Tracy. Tracy's that girl Timmy Turner wants. What's the girl that Morty wants? What's her name? I don't remember. I don't remember. What's the name of the girl Morty? Jessica. That's her name. Tracy was Timmy Turner's girl that he wanted, and Jessica's the one that Morty wants. This is why Jessica's hanging out with you, Morty. You're too busy watching Barney and Purple Dinosaur Friends and Crack Gang, Morty. That's it. That's the way it was right there.
Barney, because I can't even begin to list all of the parodies of Barney there were in media.
Oh, go on.
Okay, I will. There's Blarney, 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 Baloney,
What the
Barnaby,
fuck?
Bernie, Benny, Smarmy, Sammy, Smoochy, Sydney, Arnie, Carney, Georgie, Drewby, Humphrey, Murray, Wally, Terry, Thingy, Lumpy, Lester, Boomer, Bobo, Zebo, Mr. Potato, Dinosaurus Rex, Carlosaurus Rex, and this unnamed Barney parody from Beavis and Butthead that allegedly inspired a child to burn his 2-year-old sister to death, leading to all mentions of fire.
What the fuck? A mother of a 5-year-old boy who started a fire that killed his young sister blames MTV cartoon Beavis and Butthead for promoting burning as fun of fire officials on Friday? Wait, what? Cartoon on MTV blamed for fire? Dang, that's crazy.
Episodes.
Why is it? Okay, hold on. Why is it that parents always blame like entertainment, right? Like no, like you always think, like whenever you think of, like gun violence in school and type of stuff, right? They're like, oh, it's the video games, and or the violent movies. It's like, brother, are you stupid? Like, why are you blaming movies and like cartoons and video games for your shitty parenting? Watch your goddamn kids. Don't blame it on. You can't always use video games and movies and games as an out, right? It's not our fault you're a shitty parent who doesn't pay attention to their kids. It's not our fault your kids are screaming for attention and you ignore them. You're too busy banging 5 guys in an alley. Watch your own. Pay attention to your fucking kids. Stop playing video games and cartoons, and movies for your inability to raise a kid properly. Karen ass bitch.
Of Beavis and Butthead to be removed and the word to be banned from future episodes of the show going forward. And Blarney. Thank you. So now they're on the same page about where Barney came from, it's time for us to discover exactly how powerful he is. And to do that, we're going to go on a journey together. A journey of discovery. But as you will soon learn, not all journeys are fun, and some discoveries shouldn't be made. Sometimes ignorance truly is bliss, because we're going to watch Barney's Great Adventure, a 19...
Why is it a pink tape?
Box office flop that, to be fair, doesn't deserve to be. It's actually a delightfully whimsical little movie, but while watching the movie, I was on IMDb reading the trivia, and I read that this movie is the only time a character is shown to hate Barney.
Oh.
And that just fascinated me, because it means that this movie features Barney's nemesis. Barney has an enemy, something that needs to be overcome, conquered, defeated, and of course, it's a child. So, in a way, this movie is about
Barney versus Cody? Is it the same Cody from Zack and Cody? No, that wouldn't make sense, because it's been a long time since I saved that show. Because wasn't Cody, like, the more timid one? Zack was more a troublemaker, kind of like the bad boy, ladies man type of kid. And Cody was like the smart, timid twin. He was more working on his studies and that type of stuff. It was kind of more like the goody two shoes of the twins, between Zack and Cody. Barney versus Cody, fight! I would watch that shit.
Barney beating a child.
Yes!
Let's crack up.
Fight! Fatality! Barney wins. Dude, I'd watch that shit. Barney and Street Fighter. That's a missed opportunity. They should have had like Barney as like especially like in the 90s. Probably like when Barney was at its like peak of hatred and like, popularity, probably. Like they should have had like Barney as like a Street Fighter, or as a Mortal Kombat fighter. Like that'd be such a hilarious, like unlockable character, or whatever. Like bro, could you imagine getting your ass kicked by Barney in Mortal Kombat?
With it, shall we?
Here we go.
The movie begins with Cody, his younger sister Abby, and her friend Marcella being driven to their grandparents' house for the week. And just right off the bat, this says 90s. Yeah, this is definitely a 90s family right here.
Why is that baby wearing a hat like that? Baby over here has like a little like blue top hat. Homie over here, homie over here is playing a Game Boy Color, which I respect it. Game Boy Color, great system. Probably one of the best game consoles of all time. Yeah, and then the mom and dad are like your stereotypical 90s mother and father. Okay. 4 kids. Whoa, Dad. It's your stereotypical 90s, your stereotypical 90s family.
Her friend Marcella being driven to their grandparents' house for the week. And just right off the bat, I love Cody and I relate to him completely. The Matrix hasn't even come out yet. It'll be out in 1999.
Did the Matrix get their inspiration for this look? So the Matrix? Keanu Reeves? So let me get this right. So the Matrix got their inspiration for the main character from Cody from Barney and Friends, the movie. Nice. Good to know. Good job, guys. This right here is probably a reference that most people didn't get. Like little they know the people in like 1999 who were watching the Matrix in movie theaters, they probably didn't get the reference that the character's like appearance was inspired by Cody from Barney and Friends the movie. Those amateurs.
And yet he is completely ready for it. This movie is so mean to Cody. They spend the whole time painting him like he is some killjoy, moody, awful child, but he is actually deeply sincere and reacting normally to everything in his environment. He sees a sign for an Apple Day festival, whatever the fuck that means, and he is saddened at the prospect of not being able to go.
Oh, great. The one good thing to do in town will probably miss it.
This kid
True.
doesn't hate fun. He wants to have it. The great adventure, spoiler alert, is the thing he wants.
Dude, like the Apple festivals they do, like the Apple Orchard festivals they do, like around like fall, right? You know, like towards the end of summer, beginning of fall, right? Like when it's still nice out, and you go to like you can go to like the Apple Orchards, and like they have like these like applesauce things, and like they tell like the story of like Johnny Appleseed and all that stuff, and they have like they have like the tractor rides which you can like, go through and you can like pick apples from the tree like as you're like on the tractor ride, right? Like those are great times. Like those are always fun. Like that, like the Apple Orchard festivals are always fun. Like I remember going to quite a few of those growing up.
Wants to have a great adventure and justice for Cody.
True.
Right? One of the first things we learn is that in the universe of this movie, Barney is a franchise. The Barney and Friends TV show exists as a TV show, so it's not set in the world of Barney and Friends, but obviously it's not set in our reality. It's set somewhere in between them, in a movie universe, in a fictional universe where the Barney TV show exists, which is also the same place that the movie Godzilla and Jurassic Park exists.
Oh.
Seems like a fucking nightmare place to live, if I'm honest. Dinosaurs everywhere. But anyway, let's put a pin in that for now. Because they finally arrived at the farm, but they can't go in it because it's still buffering.
It's haunted. Oh.
Funny windmill joke. Good job, me. Thanks, me. I love you, me. You're so funny. Cody is a little down in the dumpy dumps because he's stuck on this farm for a week, and who should show up to cheer him up but Barney?
Wow.
The doll. Because again, in this universe, Barney is just a franchise, so he's just visited by some merchandise.
Cody, oh Cody.
And then he gets hit in the head with a basketball. And you can easily interpret the rest of this movie as a concussion. Maybe I should have done that. You know what? Let's end the video there.
Okay.
Cody takes the doll and hides it in a bathtub, telling the girls they'll need to use their imagination if they want to find him. And this brings us to Barney's first godlike power. Power 1. Barney can manifest into the physical world through your imagination.
That's
like
creepy.
The theme song says, Barney is a dinosaur from our imagination. And Barney can be your friend too if you just make believe him, because Barney lives inside our minds, or more specifically,
Barney lives within all of us. Barney is inside of all of us. Do with that information as you will.
he uses our minds to get out. You see, Barney seems to operate like a parasite, a mental virus, if you will. Once a child is aware of him, he can manifest physically through their imagination.
That is horrifying. That's like some like Freddy Krueger type shit. But instead of like using like the kids' nightmares, instead of like Freddy Krueger uses people's nightmares to kill them, Barney uses like their imagination to come out and give them I don't know trauma about singing dancing dinosaur who for some reason being a T-Rex and being a carnivore and one of the most deadliest meat eaters in Earth's history does not have sharp teeth at all. And I don't think I've ever seen him eat meat once, ever. Like, Barney, you're a T-Rex. Like, if you're a real T-Rex, like, I'm just saying, you're a meat eater, man. And I haven't seen you eat meat once, and your teeth are not made for ripping flesh from bone. Like, you're kind of a weak sauce T-Rex, not gonna lie there, buddy.
And while tangible, he spreads the awareness of himself to more children, all of which become viable.
So he's like a virus or a parasite. He keeps spreading to other kids' imaginations and then using them as a host to manifest himself. So he's a parasite.
Hosts through which he can manifest physically and spread endlessly.
Yeah, he's a parasite.
Which I think is fine, actually. So Barney comes to life, bending the legs of the bathtub with his weight, which enables me to calculate his exact mass using science.
Yeah, he's fucking heavy.
Jesus.
It's worth noting that Barney does not require a unanimous collective belief to form physically. Cody straight up does not believe Barney exists, and yet Barney persists. He cannot be stopped. So the gang all frolic into the barn and sing a delightfully whimsical song about using your imagination. And in this scene...
Question. So, I guess it kind of blew over my head earlier, but they said Cody and his sister, and they brought their friends with them to their grandparents' farm for like a week. What? Who? Like, why? Why just take like their friends to like their grandparents' house for a week? This is weird, right? Like I'm not the one that thinks that's weird, right? Like yeah, I think it'd be fun for like maybe like a day or two. Like yeah. Oh, you want to go to your friends' grandparents' house to hang out with them? Yeah, okay, that'd be fine for like a day or two. But for a week, I don't know. That just seems weird to me.
The girls and Barney are having a lovely little song and dance. They say, "Oh." And Barney's like, "Shut up, Cody."
Oh, it's like those like metal slides. Oh god. Dude, like, so those old like you see lights parks in like old small towns, right? You know, like these like old parks are made in like the 50s and 60s, where like most of like where like the swings and like the slide were like made of metal, right? And like on hot days, you try like using it, you like burn yourself, like you like, injure yourself, like burn your like the back of your legs or whatever, going down the slides or whatever. Like, brother, who enjoyed those? They're like modern torture devices, but an actual like play places for kids. You know what I mean? Like I always laugh whenever I go like, because around where I live, there was like a lot of like small towns. It's like every time we go through like a small town, right? There's this like these old like playgrounds from like the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, and because they're small towns, like they rarely ever update them, so they're just like you have like these like 70-year-old play places. Like obviously like they maintain them, right? Like the city, like the town council, or whatever. Like they maintain the park and they keep it, somewhat safe. Make sure like everything, saves like safety protocol and that stuff. But like they don't update anything. I rarely ever update anything. So it's like these like really old, like metal slides they go down on, and they're on hot summer days. They're like you get blisters of how hot they get. Ah, those are good old times.
Yes.
That's to become real, man. So that's how you get hair in your chest, right? You got on these like ancient 1960 slides where you get blisters on your legs and your back going down the slide.
they are. They believe it, and that's what's happening. And I think that this scene is actually kind of literal. I think that what we are witnessing is Barney's powers failing to work on Cody. I think that the girls really do see what they believe they see, and Cody doesn't because he doesn't believe yet, and therefore Barney's abilities are not working on
Cody's
him.
not brainwashed.
Because power number 2, Barney can control your entire perception of reality.
He brainwashes
Since Barney
you.
lives in your mind and can be summoned by one's imagination, it stands to reason that he has a total control over your imagination and therefore your perceptions of reality, because this seems to be how he achieves most of what he does. Whenever he's with some kids and he's making wacky stuff happen, it's pretty likely that he is just making them, for lack of a better word, hallucinate these things. In A Day at the Beach, he tells the kids to just use their imaginations and that they will all go have a great day at the beach together, and then they do. So
Wow.
he's making them see shit. He's fucking with their heads. So to misuse Occam's razor, I think the simplest solution to this is that he's just making them perceive what he wants them to perceive. He's controlling their minds, basically. What a guy. All the while, Cody flatly denies Barney's existence.
Oh. Okay, so they're like using their legs, like, go up and down. Okay, that looked really weird % there. Okay, go back for a second, right? Watch this again. Oops, I go.
Minds, basically. What a guy. All the while,
It looked like they're hanging. Jesus Christ, man. It look like, bro. It looks like Barney hung on the little girls. That's awful, but oh my god, holy shit. Barney hung the little girls, man.
Cody flatly denies.
Jeez, look at this. Look at that. Like, tell me, right? Tell me, without any context, right? Without any context, right? If you just froze on this scene, right? No context at all. You would have thought Barney hung these little girls, or these people, right? These two, people right here. You probably wouldn't know they're girls. But if you pause at this scene, right? No context at all, right? And all you saw was this. And you saw Barney looking at Cody. And Cody's getting kind of a bit of a sus look at his face. And you see these like feet just dangling. You would have thought Barney hung these little girls. I'm not crazy for thinking that, right? Like, brother, like, this is kind of a creepy scene, not gonna lie. Kind of sus scene.
Barney's existence, and then as soon as their song is done, he immediately attempts to unalive Barney. And I do not mean unalive in the TikTok I'm trying to avoid censors kind of way. I mean, he tries to make Barney cease to exist, to no longer be alive. He's not necessarily trying to kill him, he's just trying to undo Barney's existence.
I do not believe in you.
Does it work? Of course it fucking doesn't.
Damn.
Because Barney says,
That's okay, Cody. I believe in you.
what does that mean, Barney? What does that mean? Is everything a figment of your imagination? Am I a figment of Barney's imagination? But like
Probably.
I said, Cody has zero influence over Barney's presence.
I mean, Barney is a crypto god, right? Not crypto. Crypto god. You gotta go buy Barney coin. No, but cryptid. Barney is cryptid god. So maybe we're all figments of Barney's imagination.
Showing that Barney is parasitic in nature. He does not need the consent of his hosts to exist. He's just gonna do it anyway. Later that evening, Cody insists to his grandparents that Barney is very much walking around inside their barn, and naturally, they don't believe him, because Barney is just having a great time gaslighting this little boy, I suppose as punishment for not being immediately charmed by him. As soon as the grandparents go inside, Barney walks around the corner and goes, whoa, where are your grandparents? I guess I just missed them. Don't worry, I'll see them later. And Cody says,
Yeah, but will they see you?
because Cody is aware that Barney isn't entirely real. And that's by Barney's choice, because guess what? We got more powers. Power 3, imperceptibility. Barney seemingly picks and chooses who gets to see him, who gets to perceive his glorious physical form. In the earliest version of the theme song, it said,
Grit. Cause she doesn't know our secret. I always thought that line was kind of creepy. Something about your mom not seeing, but something about a mother not seeing someone because she doesn't know about a secret. I that makes me feel a bit comfortable, my guy. I don't like that. That just feel a bit comfy. Like I ah like that if I have a daughter, right, and my daughter goes, oh, you can't see him because you don't know our secret, Daddy. I'll be like, excuse me. I gotta know this right now. I don't like that. That just makes me feel uncomfortable. It's like this homie bear hope I never see him because if I do see him, I'm gonna fucking kill him. Like I don't know. Maybe it's just me overthinking it, but that just sounds weird. Like what is it? She doesn't, She doesn't see Barney because she doesn't know our secret. Like that's such a weird thing, right? Like think of this like this, right? Okay, imagine like Barney. Like we don't like you have no context of Barney, right? You don't know Barney's a dinosaur or that he's a make believe character or whatever, right? You have no idea he's like a make believe fictitious character, right? And your daughter goes, "Oh, don't worry, mommy. You can't see Barney because you don't know our secret." Like, what would you think as a parent if you had no idea what Barney was or who Barney was, right? Would you think some like creep was like talking to your daughter at the park or something like that, or was like talking to your daughter on the way home from school or something like that? Like that's what I would think. Like, it's such a weird and creepy line. Maybe I'm overthinking this. But it just seems such a weird line. Maybe, like I said, maybe I'm overthinking this, but I don't know. Like if I was a parent and my daughter or son came out to me and it's like, "Oh, don't worry, Dad. You can't see Barney because you don't know our secret." I'd be like, "Excuse me? You want we're gonna have a long chat about this one because I don't think I like this Barney character you have a secrets with."
implying that if you do not know Barney, you cannot see Barney, but that's not necessarily true because people are constantly being introduced to Barney for the first time, namely children, and they don't know him yet.
Who are you? This is our friend Barney.
So it just seems to be he chooses not to.
I also don't like the idea of him just hugging little kids. Like a group of little kids. Like I don't know. Like it's weird because like you just meet this character Barney, right? And your instincts to run up and hug him. Like that's weird, bro. Like if I saw some kind of Barney suit or some like dinosaur suit in my backyard, like trying to hug like my kids or their friends, I'd walk behind there with a shotgun and blow the fucker's head off. Like my God, it's so creepy.
Reveal himself to mostly parents.
Yes! Your mom will hear us.
He has shown himself to some parents.
Is that not creepy? Brother, is that not creepy? He went to the backyard where there are literally like half a dozen little boys and girls who are in their bathing suits, might I add. He hugs them, and then when they cheer, yay! He goes, shh, 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 shh. Your mother might hear us. Like, is that... Dude. And then like, Mama can't, or was it, Mama can't see him because she doesn't know our secret. Like, bro, like, am I overthinking this? Maybe I'm overthinking it because I've been watching a lot of like Cinnamon Toast Ken reacting to like To Catch a Predator, right? So maybe I'm overthinking this because I've been kind of like binge watching his To Catch a Predator series. But bro, like that's so weird. I don't like it.
Like in the episode, a very special delivery, but mostly the only time adults can see him is when they also knew him as a child.
We've been friends with Barney since we were all about your age.
So basically, once you know Barney, he's with you forever. Like I said, he lives in your mind once you know him, and also you can see him and perceive him. He also very much reveals himself to the elderly in episodes like Grandparents' Day.
This is Barney.
Well, hello, Barney. Nice to meet you, Barney.
I think he just chooses to show himself to people that will either keep his secret or not be believed. Because let's be honest, if Grandma told you that she saw a giant talking purple dinosaur, she's going in a home, isn't she?
Yeah,
so
probably.
Anyway, Barney makes a dog play the guitar, and I just don't have the emotional bandwidth for that right now, so we will come back to it a little later on in the video. Dog's pretty good though.
What the fuck?
Barney, desperate to work his literal magic on Cody, says, "Come on, kid, what gives? This shit usually works on everyone." And Cody basically says, "I don't know, man. I'm not vibing with this shit." And Barney says, "Well, I know what'll cheer you up. Making a wish on a..."
And I don't know what will cheer you up. As Barney turns to him and snaps Cody's neck, buries him in the barn, and we never see Cody ever again. Look at this. Look at him. He hit his guards down. He's vulnerable. You're like 3 times the size of Cody, man. You could just grab his neck and break it. You can just snap his neck and bury him in the barn. Never see Cody ever again. Barney. Like, think about it, Barney. Think about it. You were thinking about, weren't you sick fuck? Don't kill Cody. He's just a little boy. He's no difference. You're thinking about it, weren't you, though, Barney? You're thinking that, oh, so this Cody kid doesn't like me, huh? I can't help people not liking me. He just snaps Cody's neck. Oh no, Cody, you're dead. Oh, I didn't mean to actually snap your neck. We're gonna go hide your barn. We're gonna have to go hide your body in the barn. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, it might seem a bit kind of. I'm just saying, Cody's looking kind of vulnerable over here. And Barney's like 3 times his size. Like, Barney is, it's gonna snap the neck and bury him in the backyard, and you're like, oh no, I don't know where Cody went. Ha ha ha. Don't worry, little girls. I'm gonna keep brainwashing you. So you can keep spreading my parasite all over by telling all your friends that I met Barney this summer at my grandparents' house. And then all those kids are gonna get brainwashed and corrupted by Barney the parasite, and so on and so forth.
Shooting star. And then he makes one happen, which raises multiple questions for which I do not have the answer. Does Barney make that shooting star happen? Can he summon meteorites? Did another dinosaur rub him the wrong way 65 million years ago? I don't fucking know. Or did he just know that meteorite was going to be there, making him omniscient? Both options terrifyingly powerful.
True.
God, he scares me. And we know the shooting star is real and not just a projection, because when no one else is watching, we, the audience, see it hit a windmill. I'm overanalyzing fucking children's media again. What is wrong with me? Anyway, the next day rolls around and Cody just once again has an insane amount of drip, and Barney is built like a fucking Pixar mom. Ooh.
Jesus. God damn, Tom.
Smash. So naturally they have another little sing and a dance.
God dang it, Tomska. Homie. You really gonna smash Barney the Dinosaur? I mean, he's I mean, I don't think he's quite built like a Pixar mom. Like, Mom, have you seen those Pixar moms? Like, oh god damn, those Pixar moms are built different. Oh, but like, Barney, he's built pretty good for himself.
And who the fuck is this guy? God, Barney, in playing it safe, you told us to avoid strangers because you don't know if they might be bad people, and here you are, allowing the kids to frolic with this guy. Get out of the shot, Jean Cardinal, Animal Wrangler. It is not your time to shine. Anyway, Cody finds what the shooting star was, and guess what? It's a big-ass egg, which he is immediately enamored with. I mean, Cody is so completely on board with this egg. He's like, great, this is the adventure I wanted. His wish has come true. Hooray. Do they then stop dogging on Cody and claiming that he's a grumpy little killjoy? No. No, they don't, because this movie does nothing but assassinate Cody's poor little character. Justice for Cody! Ah, fuck, Baby Bob's here. God,
No!
I don't agree with Barney bashing. I think he's a nice guy, he's doing his best, but I fucking hate Baby Bob. Fucking hater.
Same.
Fuck you. So the gang head off to get answers about this egg, but
Stupid
Barney
Baby
is
Bob.
immediately distracted by a crying baby and heads up and just talks to it.
Are you fucking serious? Again! Barney, boundaries! You can't just sneak into a baby nursery and then start talking to a baby. Like, goddamn.
You're tired of the same old look?
Because Barney can understand the baby's wants and needs. He speaks every conceivable language.
Apparently.
He knows your thoughts and your innermost desires. What? Is there anything Barney doesn't know? Anyway, now they're on a horse riding to their neighbor Mrs. Goldfinch's house, because apparently she knows a lot about birds and eggs, I guess. But despite the fact that the kids have apparently been on this journey before in their lives, they say that they don't remember it looking like this.
I don't remember it looking like this last year.
Are you no alarms? For all you know, this could be some like Barney cult leader, right? Barney could be some like leader to a cult. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure he basically is the leader of a cult, right? Like he could be luring you deep into the woods and do unmentionable things to you. He might brainwash you. He might turn you to a skin suit. He might eat your flesh. He might, I don't know, what else do you call it? He might sacrifice you to Cthulhu. Or Ba, the Carthaginian god of the harvest. God, dude. Bro, like, it's... That's a whole nother story for another time. But I still find it insane that in, like, the remnants of, like, of Carthage, and, like, during, like, these, like, you know, dig sites, they've literally found, like, vases and, like, graves of, like, ashes and, like, burnt baby skeletons and, like, skulls and that type of stuff. Like, it is some crazy shit. But that's a story for another time, right? Like, I don't know. If you say, hey, this seems kind of sus, I don't know where we're at, like, you should be alarmed. You should be trying to escape.
And I think that that is because now that Cody is engaged and on board with Barney, Barney's magic is working on him and his perceptions of reality are...
He is brainwashing Cody!
...beginning to warp. But then again, maybe that's not it either, because power number 4, Barney can take children to other dimensions.
That's
in Barney's
kidnapping.
Campfire Sing-Along, he pulls all the children into his sick little dimension through their dreams. They weren't together. He just pulled them in their sleep to have another little song and dance. You know how he is.
He literally abducted half a dozen kids. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids. Barney just abducted 6 kids. Makes you wonder, like where are these kids today? You know, like imagine like imagine like 20, 25, 30 years later, right? and like you're a parent now, you have your own kids, and you point, then like you turn on like a Barney and Friends movie, right? And then you point to the little girl like, oh yeah, that girl right there, that was me when I was a little girl your age, right? I wonder like, where these kids are at today. Like what are they doing today? Like how has being on how has being on Barney affected their lives, either for good or bad?
Don't do that, Barney. But he's not just limited to mind.
God, imagine being like in middle school or high school, right? And like you're in like middle school, high school, and your classmates found out that you were on Barney as a kid, right? Bro, the amount of bullying you would have gotten, and you might think like, oh, it's not a big deal. Some kids be like, oh, that's cool. You were on TV or whatever. You were in a movie, right? No, you don't understand. Like in that show, Kid Nation or whatever. Like some of the kids who were on that show. Speaking of Kid Nation, I want to react to Kid Nation. I think that'd be a fun series to react to. But the only problem is copyright issues. I'm very worried about getting copyright claims and getting my channel deleted. So that might be a thing I do on Patreon eventually. But some of the kids on like Kid Nation were like, they went on like Reddit and that type of stuff, and like even made some videos I think on YouTube. I think there's some like interviews on YouTube too. Like some of the kids like saying after they got like off, after they were done with the show, they got bullied and harassed by their classmates and like upperclassmen and stuff like that because they were on TV. They were on those shows. Like brother, it's not, being on TV and movies is not as cool as you think it would be. Like, yeah, it sounds fun and like, you know, in theory, but like people like you will use it and will use like what you did on the show or a movie or whatever to bully the absolute shit out of you. Like I'm not even joking. Like there are some like really very sad stories about some of those kids who were like on Kid Nation and how they were bullied and harassed constantly by their classmates and their peers because they were on TV. Weirdly enough. But yeah, it just makes me wonder, like where are these kids at today? What are they doing? How is like being on these like Barney shows and movies and specials, like how has it impacted their life? You know what I mean?
Dimensions in A Day at the Beach. Yes, they use their imaginations to go to the beach, or at least that's what they're told. But at the end of the day, when the kids have gone to bed and Barney's back into being a doll, their mum finds a bucket full of seashells and sand, very strongly implying that they actually went to somewhere else, to some other dimension. And also, we never see that mum ever again after that episode.
What?
I think that's why Barney doesn't reveal himself to parents, because once they get wise to him, he's got to deal with them.
Gotta kill him.
Hell, knowing all of this, you could even argue that the school and the treehouse from Barney and Friends that he brings all the kids to all the time aren't real. They're just being pulled into there, either physically or mentally, like some adorable Freddy Krueger kind of guy. Fucking put Barney in a
That's what I
Freddy
said.
Krueger outfit, I guess. That's the joke. Good content, me. So sure enough, now that we're fully under Barney's spell, we arrive at a thoroughly bonkers house with a crazy bird lady who is just completely comfortable with Barney. Why is she comfortable with Barney? Because she's probably not fucking...
Probably mentally insane. And my guess is because they mentioned before that if you knew Barney as a little girl or as like a little boy or whatever, like you could see him, you know, even as an adult, because you've seen in the past, and you're quote unquote friends with Barney. So my guess is maybe she hung out with Barney when she was a little girl. I don't know. That's just a thought. That's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. Sorry.
Real. Alright? She's probably just another one of his manifestations, his projections. Or she's a real person that is also just under his little manic spell.
Parasite.
Makes everyone happy and joyful. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Drugs can be fun.
What?
So the kooky bird lady gets a good look at the egg and says,
I'd hate to be the bird who laid that egg.
"'Cause I simply cannot go a single media analysis without a fucking reference to a goddamn cloaca." The kids get into her fantastical house and they are amazed and impressed by everything, which is weird because apparently they've been there before, but they haven't because this is different. It's a different house. They're under Barney's spell. They're under Barney's spell. And
He
now they're all
brainwashed
singing,
them.
and Cody is singing too because he is fully in.
Cody has been fully brainwashed. Barney literally threatened him. Like that scene when I made the joke about him breaking Cody's neck. He probably threatened Cody. He's like, I swear to God, Cody, if you don't play along with my game, I'm gonna break your neck. You wanna play a game, Cody? I'm so Barney. I like playing games. If you don't enjoy this egg tomorrow morning, I'm gonna break your neck, Cody. I swear to God, Cody. That's the kind of games I like to play, Cody. You know, that's the exact thing that's going on. Probably. That's probably because yeah, eggs, cool egg. Yeah, Barney, please don't break my neck, Barney, please.
God, this number is genuinely delightful. This movie has so much whimsy. I love it. He also hits Barney with a pretty brutal microaggression, which Barney takes like a champ.
What if it's a horrid reptile thing? Sorry, Barney.
Oops, that's okay.
Anyway, they find out that the egg has something called a dream maker inside, and once the egg has turned all the bright shades of the rainbow, it's gonna hatch, and this definitely won't be a toy they're gonna try and sell us at the end of the movie. And then the egg falls out of a perfectly egg-shaped hole, which is very funny, and lands in a truck that drives away.
Bye.
Oh, the hijinks! Wacky. The kids thoroughly Tears of Kingdom a cart together and they floor it after this truck, but not before Barney either warps their perception of reality to give them more wacky hats or just creates matter out of thin air. We'll come back to it, I guess. The guy driving the truck with the egg on it for some reason has a full fast food kitchen setup.
What the hell?
In his car. I don't know why. That's not he just does. He's got a deep fat fryer in there, a milkshake maker, and when he comes to an abrupt stop, you know he's dead, or at least severely disfigured, because that boiling hot fat goes everywhere.
Literally. Got burned.
So close.
And meanwhile, Baby Bop is at the Apple Day Festival, just thoroughly fucking ruining the vibes for everyone. I hate Baby Bop so much. Now at the Apple Day Festival, nobody even raises an eyebrow at Barney's.
I'm still stuck.
That boiling hot fat goes everywhere. It is over for him.
So close.
Brother. Oh, she hit her head on the back of this too. Like, bro, this is why you're wearing non-slick shoes. Like, bro, like, look at it. She hits the back of her head. Like, she would be at least unconscious. She would not be able to react to the scream she did, because she would be most likely out cold. She hit the back of her head on the back of the top of the stove right here. Like, there is no way that it doesn't matter how much this burns, right? Like, she would, at bare minimum, be at least unconscious after she smoked the back of her head against this, like, countertop right here. See, like, look at that! Like, she's out cold. Like, there's no... Like, she smacked the back of her head right there. She'd just be out cold. Like, it'd be like a BAM! Like, just out cold. Like, you'd just be... This night, off to the hospital. Like, you would not be able to scream. Like, you'd be so knocked out, like, you wouldn't even know you were what happened until you got to the hospital. Like, oh yeah, you had an accident at work. You're lucky you didn't die from the impact of your head smacking the stovetop. She would not be reacting like that. That's unrealistic. she would not be squealing her head off because like yeah I assume it hurts, and I'm assuming after she wakes up at the hospital she'd be like, oh, it burns, ah! But like after the impact, like your head hits like you hit the back of your head against that countertop, and you're out. Like good night, you're out cold for a while. Like you would not react screaming your head off because you hit, you know. Like, trust me, I bet it sucks. I bet that burns like nobody's business. But like, bro, she smacked her head pretty damn hard against that countertop. Like, I'm sorry, but no, this is no way this is real. She would be out cold, and I mean out, at the bare minimum. I hit like hitting your head like that at that the way she did. She'd be lucky to survive. To be honest with you.
And meanwhile, Baby Bop is at the Apple Day Festival, just thoroughly fucking ruining the vibes for everyone.
True.
Baby Bop.
She ruins everything.
Now at the Apple Day Festival, nobody even raises an eyebrow at Barney's presence. And this could be because he's working his magic on everyone. It could also be because we're in some sort of warped alternate version of reality. But it is also just as likely to be because we are in a universe where the Barney franchise very much exists. So people just think, oh, cool. There's a Barney costume at this festival. That is an appropriate thing to have here. I mean, there's other mascots there. There's a Southwest Airlines mascot for some reason. I guess they have that knocking around. There's even a
Toys R Us
top hat that says, hey, is it because they think it's just their friend Jeff doing some Barney work? Or is it because, power number 5, Barney is immortal? Now, this movie never really gives me a perfect opportunity to segue into this point, but Barney is old. He is very, very old. In fact, whenever Barney meets an adult, usually some sort of celebrity, they'll say that they knew Barney when they were a child. And in Barney's magical musical adventure, he goes back in time, a thing he can also do, and meets a king of old who tells the children that, yes, he also knew Barney when he was a little one. So yeah, Barney's old, right? Maybe like a few...
Hold on a second. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be this guy, right? I don't want to be that guy. But there's no way, if you went back to some like medieval kingdom, right, that some king will instantly come up to like, this might be a little racist, but there's no way a king would come up to just some random black kid and shake his hand. He'd probably be like, what's this peasant slave doing in my sight? Get him out of here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. This is unrealistic. You like this would have been the perfect place to put in like a slavery is bad segue into like a Barney cartoon. Like, hey kids, slavery is a bad thing. It affected our civilization for thousands of years, throughout many empires and throughout almost every continent except for Antarctica. Slavery happened all over in Africa, Asia, Europe, North and South America, and even in Oceania. So please, do not encourage slavery. We want slavery to end today. So please, call the number on the screen at 1-800-END-SLAVERY and donate, and you too can get you can get a thank you reward of a slave collar of your own.
Yes, he also knew Barney when he...
See, look at this. Like, this would not happen. This king would have probably been like, why is a slave peasant in my sights? Get him out of here. And just like throws him out, right? Probably would have chained him up and sent him out. Like, all right, get to the fields there, buckaroo. Go pick me some carrots and salad. Or I don't know, whatever. I don't know, whatever they did.
He was a little one. So yeah, Barney's old, right? Maybe like a few hundred years? That's quite a lot. Well, in Barney's birthday, he says that he is 2 dinosaur years old, which translates to
200 million years.
Jesus.
Wow, that's a lot.
200 million years. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Literally, that's a
Does
lot.
Barney come from the human mind? Probably not, given that he predates it by roughly 199,700,000 years. He looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. They didn't exist 200 million years ago either. What is he? And if Barney cannot be killed by the unstoppable passage of time, then what can kill him? Well, apparently high winds and a lamppost.
Oh my god.
Also, hold on. In the episode Look at Me, I'm 3, we learned that BJ is 7 and Baby Bob, who I hate, is 3. Now, do they mean that they are 7 and 3 human years old or dinosaur years old? Because I can't handle the idea of Baby Bob being 300 million years old. I don't want to live in a world where that thing cannot and will not die, okay? I need to be free of Baby Bob. I need to know that the ravages of time will eventually claim her. Anyway, back to the movie. So there's another dance sequence, and then BJ, who again might be close to 1 billion years old, hurls the egg.
Why is his name BJ? They had the name when the character was BJ? Really? You couldn't call him like CJ or RJ, you'd call him BJ? Blowjob the dinosaur, really? Blowjob the Triceratops? Are you serious? Whose idea was this?
Into a restaurant called Shea Snob, where Barney is about to make everyone sing and dance because, power number 6, Barney can control your mind. So we know that Barney has control of your imagination and therefore your entire perception of reality, but he can also just control your mind in general, your thoughts, your feelings, and also your actions. In the show, anytime a child expresses some sort of negative emotion, be it anger, sadness, disappointment, jealousy, Barney gives them one sentence and they turn that frown upside down instantly. No bad vibes allowed here. Oh, you want to work through and process those feelings? Too bad, kid. Fucking stop it. And you might say, hey, that's fine. Barney's actually just a super convincing dude. He's a great conflict resolution negotiator. But Barney can also make people do things they wouldn't naturally do, like sing and dance against their will. Do you remember the dog? Dogs don't normally play guitar.
True.
The sentence I just said out loud. So Barney and the gang burst into this snobby restaurant and he starts distracting everyone with his funky little jazz number. And you know what? It truly is a funky little jazz number. It's been stuck in my head for days. That motherfucker can scat with the best of them. God, he's cool. Also, fun fact, Josh Radnor from How I Met Your Mother is one of the dancing waiters. It's one of his earliest roles.
What the hell?
No, he isn't. That's not true, IMDb. Stop lying to me. It's this little French guy.
Oh, so it wasn't him. I was like, oh, that's a pretty interesting Easter egg, but I guess not.
Your shit straight. Now, the people in this restaurant are severely not fucking with Barney's vibes, but he wears them down. He gets to all of them. And the ones he can't convince, like the band behind him, boom, he sends them to the fucking cornfield.
He kills
They're
them.
Gone between shots. If you're not under Barney's spell, you don't exist anymore.
He teleports you to another dimension. You're just never seen again. Maybe that's what he does, right? Maybe he just teleports anybody who doesn't believe in him to another dimension, to like his own dimension. Then, like when he's done with the kids, like they're like, oh yeah, huh, that's our cute little number and dance. Smile, kids. And after done direct that, he teleports back to his dimension, and anybody who doesn't believe in him, or anybody like disappoints him, he just devours them. He turns into like some obscene, disgusting, horrific, cryptid-esque dinosaur monster thing. And just starts tearing them to shreds and like ripping flesh from bone, and he keeps them alive too. So it's like he just savors the screaming of pain and agony of anybody of anybody who disappoints him. He doesn't believe in them. He's like, oh, you don't believe in me? We're gonna believe this. Like, takes a big chunk out of their arm, starts ripping them to shreds. Was that morbid? Probably.
You don't get to live in Barney's world.
Literally.
Do I even like this movie, or am I just afraid that if I don't like it, Barney will make me cease to exist? Anyway, the egg makes its way to a circus, because of fucking course it does, and yo, is that Michael Davis, the comedy juggler? He's funny. Why does he do that? He just throws the egg in the air. What a totally unnecessary dick move. So the egg goes missing for an extended period, and then we have a really weird Dark Night of the Soul scene where everyone just starts shitting on Cody, telling him that he never even cared about the egg and that he hates having fun.
You don't even want to find it. You never did.
Which is just demonstrably false and so contradictory to everything we've been seeing since he got this egg that he loves. He's been leading the charge on these escapades. Why are we shitting on Cody?
Literally.
Justice for Cody.
Hashtag
He
justice for
loves the
Cody.
egg. Leave him alone! So the kids are all miserable now, and Barney can't have that, so he starts doing a little song and dance, and their bodies start moving involuntarily.
Brainwashed.
No bad feelings allowed here. These kids can't sit in these negative emotions for a goddamn second. They've got to start singing and dancing, and sure enough, it works. He brings them back around to the light side of the force, and they're off looking for the egg again. Anyway, the egg is in a hot air balloon now. This movie is 70 minutes long, and so much stuff happens. I gotta give him props on the breakneck pace of
Just
this
so much
thing.
things
A lot
packed
gets
in.
done. I can't imagine a child being bored watching this movie, except for the one like minute where an old man sings about how much he loves his wife.
Let me call you sweetheart.
That was an odd choice. Why did they do that? Who cares? Get out of here, old fart. Hurry up and die. But Cody,
Jesus.
who is now a fully indoctrinated disciple of Barney, he's seeing the whole world through Barney vision, suggests that they all use the power of their imagination to turn a log into a plane. And because we too are under Barney's spell, it works! Or does it? Power number 7, Barney can manipulate matter. I can argue
Jesus.
as much as I like that Barney's powers are limited to your mind and perceptions of reality, but at some point, you have to just draw a line and admit that this motherfucker can control reality.
He's God.
Wholesale. He can change matter, because when a log turns into a plane and you're flying through the sky, you gotta say, you know what? You're just God, aren't you? There's just
Oh jeez, was that CGI or was that like a red? Was that CGI or was that a green screen? Because that was rough. These hot air balloons look pretty bad. Not gonna lie.
into a plane and you're flying.
Like, look, is this CGI or is this green screen? I think it's a CGI. I could be wrong though, but it does not look good. Like, I get just like what, the early '90s or something like that. The early to mid '90s. Obviously, technology was not quite where it is today. But God, this looks rough.
Flying through the sky, you gotta say, you know what? You're just God, aren't you? There's just nothing you can't do. Spare me. There are simply too many examples of adventures he's been on resulting in physical objects being left behind to ignore it anymore. Remember the shells and the sand from the beach? That was real. The fucking egg hits the windmill. It's all real. He's doing all of it. He's just God. Ah! So they get the egg and they crash the plane. And we know it's not in the kids' minds because the grandparents see it too. And Barney again is fine with grandparents seeing him because he knows that no one's gonna fucking believe him anyway. So the grandparents are immediately and understandably terrified of him. Which makes sense because, you know, man is not meant to lay his eyes directly upon the face of God. The mind cannot comprehend it. It's like seeing a biblically accurate angel. Barney should be introducing himself to everyone saying, "Be not afraid." And yet I still am. So anyway, the incredibly colorful egg hatches, and what should come out but an incredibly not colorful gray little koala thing that I guess they thought was going to be the next cool fad toy. And also fucking Baby Bop is there. God damn it, Baby Bop, fuck off. So Twinkle the Dream Maker jankily floats around the screen, summons some particle effects, and Cody
I'm not gonna lie though, that doll is kind of ugly.
apologizes for hating Barney and gives him a big hug. And I just realized the movie's about Barney bashing, isn't it? Yeah, the movie's a response to all the people that hated on Barney, and they're just saying, can you just not? He's just a nice guy. Get over yourselves. That's what the whole movie's about. I get it now.
I don't think he's a nice guy. I still don't like. I don't trust or like him. I think he's sus, bro. Like he's after your kids. He wants to brainwash and indoctrinate your kids into a cult.
So now that everything's over, Barney turns
Bro, like that. I mean, like it's cute in like an ugly type of way, you know. It's like an ugly cute. Like I don't know, like I guess it's cute in like the in the broadest sense, but it's like almost like ugly cute,
back into a doll. Baby Bop and BJ teleport out of existence, meaning I am finally free of her.
She dropped her blanket.
But the movie can't end without one last parting shot, one last nightmarish implication, where we learn that Baby Bop is not gone.
What the fuck?
She's just invisible now, meaning that she can be anywhere, at any time, and you'll never even know it. Also, a baby talks, it's weird. Oh, so what's all this been for? Well, when I started this video, I said I wanted to figure out just how powerful Barney was, but I also wanted to figure out what he was, why he exists, and what he wants. And you know what? I think I've cracked it. You see, Barney is a dinosaur from our imagination.
Nice.
What do you mean you already knew that? We've got so many mythical beings out there. We've got a little guy for just about everything.
Fair.
The Easter Bunny, the Sandman, Cupid, the Tooth Fairy, Elliot Goff. But you know what we don't have? We don't have a face or a name for imaginary friends. And I think it's Barney. Barney isn't just an imaginary friend, he's the imaginary friend. 200 million years ago, when the first dinosaur developed a high enough consciousness that it found itself in need of friendship, of companion and guidance, it created Barney from a need, and he came in the form of the most harmless, childlike manifestation of a dinosaur that creature could muster. And since then, that's the role he's been playing. He was born of a need, and he has just been providing a service ever since. Barney is imagination manifest. He is a cryptid in the same leagues as Santa Claus and mermaids and Selena Gomez, and that's why he can hang out with all of them, because he's...
Oh yeah, Selena Gomez was in Barney. That's right. I remember about that. And she was also posted. She also posted like a video on Instagram about her bawling her eyes out because of the deportations. And she was crying because she's like, my people are being deported. It's like, motherfucker, what are you talking about? What do you mean your people are being? Was she born in Texas? Yeah, I think her dad was Mexican, but he wasn't around for them, right? Her dad abandoned them really early in her life. So you became popular and famous, and you had all these opportunities in America. And you choose illegal immigrants as your people over the people of your actual nation. That's kind of sad. Not gonna lie. I lost a lot of respect for Selena Gomez for that when she uploaded that to Instagram, because I love Selena Gomez growing up. I remember watching her with my sister, watching Wizard of Waverly Place. Watching and Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez was my first childhood crushes growing up. And after that video, I lost a lot of respect for her.
One of them. God, his life is so much cooler than mine. But what if it's bigger than that? Because bear in mind, in the movie, Barney is a fictional entity. He's just a TV show, and yet that doesn't stop him from manifesting in their reality. Who's to say we're not just in another layer of the Barneyverse right now? I mean, he exists in our imaginations just as much as he existed in theirs, and he was able to become real there. Why would he just stop there? What's to say he's not going to show up here too? I mean, he addresses us directly in the movie multiple times. He's self-aware. He knows he's in a movie.
You know this song, so sing along.
If he's in your mind, you can't stop him. I mean, for all we know, Barney is no less real than any other documented theological being. Oh, you've read a book about Jesus and his disciples going on some wacky adventures, and you believe in it so completely that you're prepared to do a whole-ass crusade? Well, I've seen Barney in the Backyard Gang go to space. Barney is a god. He may be the only god, and we are nothing but lucky that he chooses to be a nice one. After all, we've seen that he can summon meteorites. And what happened to those dinosaurs? Oh, well, that was a very silly video. When I went into this, I didn't know all that much about Barney, beyond his reputation as being this really hated thing. And so I thought that maybe I would find a lot of salacious things. You know, I'd heard so many rumors throughout my life, and one thing I found while working on this video is that none of them are true. They're either completely fake or the reality.
So they're not true. Okay. Because at the beginning, remember, I was asking about that urban legend, Barney murdering a little girl underneath a table or something like that, and one of the episodes or something. But I guess that is a urban legend.
is actually very boring and completely unrelated to Barney. There's really nothing dark going on under the surface of this little purple fella. Baby Bop, on the other hand, is a war criminal, and
True.
No, but I want to thank Hedge, who is a YouTuber and Barney fan. They helped steer me in the right direction for a lot of the research I was doing on this video, and also Eddie, who watched everything with me, helped me with the research, and just generally, you know, endured my slow mental degradation as I worked on this stupid idea of a video. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for whatever bad idea I have next.
All right. Well, that is the end of whatever the fuck that was. Tomska watching and doing like a Barney. How many more of my childhood shows that has he like done these for? I gotta find them all. I gotta find like all these like childhood nostalgia nightmare fuel examinations that Tomska's done. But you guys enjoy the content, comment, use for hip go ahead. If you're new, stick around. Join the subscribe and join Sector Mafia. Make sure you go check out Tomska. I'll put the link to Tomska and his channels, Tomska and Friends. I'll put them both down in the description below. And make sure you go check out this video. His video. I'll put the link to his video in the description below. Go check it out. Go leave a comment. Go give a like for him. Go subscribe to his channels if you haven't already. He's a hilarious guy. But yeah. Anyways, I'll start later. Peace.
Go build on myself so I can truly build. Hey.